Okay, yeah. Trying to think about structure. Thinking about like how to make bass and things like that move, but still be generative is weird. I will say that. Okay, let's do a thing real quick here. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take my top apathy sloths and put it in the purple trace of the Zork strip. Today is no, today's right about normal time. Usually about 5 o'clock my time. It's that's pretty normal. Last week I started really early though. Um, okay, well I already have a couple of wads of yeah, that's the thing. Well, with the vector, there's a lot of stuff you can do with subsequences and chord changes and things like that. So that's kind of going to be where my structure comes from. But I also have a really neat little African vocal loop that I recorded into the Stardust. And it's at a much faster tempo than what I have set right now. Which I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world if I just changed my tempo to, what is this, 73? See, that's not that much different. Let's just do that. That way it can all be synchronized, all happy, and that would be kind of cool. That's what today is all about. Jason, what do we got in here, though? We got nothing. No, because the filter's all the way down. Hans Zimmer, eat your heart out. This is a Turkish, what's this thing called? I forget what this is called. Mehimeli or something. I forget. Some kind of reed instrument. Let's crank up our reverb and delay times too. So that's just like kind of backdrop on like C sharp and C, 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 C sharp, and F sharp in there. So that'll be a nice little texture. Just kind of omnipresent texture. Should be the name of a band. Omnipresent texture. Okay, there's that guy. Stardust is going to be a little bit more challenging because we need to figure out how to. Well, it's not how to. It's pretty easy to synchronize things. Well, sorta, in theory. I've got an 8 measure loop going in the Stardust, so I'm gonna need. I'm gonna need this guy going to the reset. Okay, now I'm not planning on using kick drum in this, but in terms of giving me a beat, this will work well. Just for now. Okay, so in order to have this work, I'm going to need to have the vector running. All right. In the meantime, though, that guy can shut up. You can just like shut up, bro. Omnipresent texture. Or like the name of like a weirdly translated anime villain. I need more short blue patch cables. Oh no, I've lost one, and now it's just right under that chair, and I can't. Okay, never mind. I'm okay. I may be old, but I'm not that old. It's just really awkward to lean over in this thing. Did I just... Yeah, I did. Something is overloading just a little bit. I hope it's not the original sample, but it might be. Because I turned up the levels, the input levels, because the sample was actually kind of quiet. You can go under. Okay, what do we got? Yup. It overloaded. Okay, don't like it. Gonna re-record it. Gonna definitely re-record that. Thankfully, I have it still queued up in case that happened. I'm prepared. For once. This, and then we're gonna go... That should do it. That was weird. That was weird. Okay, let's stop this. 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Just a little bit later. It's a bit of a pain in the butt, actually, to synchronize this with a trigger. What is that weird overwrapping thing? What is that? Is that an artifact from the earlier recording? I think it is. I think I need to just, like, completely undo, completely nuke everything that's in here and do it again. I think some left over. I think so. And we need to shut off the kick. And then we... Okay. One more try. That's the start of an 8. Huh? So it's like, it's cutting off the first part of it, which is, it's just really odd. See, there it did it again. Like, what are you doing, dude? This should, at the end of this measure should be another trigger. There, yeah. That's weird. So it's not really synchronized with the measures at all. 46. This is the number of measures it's been going. 47. What? Dude, what is happening? Okay, what if we pull the trigger and just see, even on its own, I don't understand why it's like, in the middle of the sample. That's clearly like in the middle of the sample. It's right there. That makes no sense. It's playing the entire loop. It's just doing everything normal, and I don't get it. Like, why is this happening? If I nuke the whole thing, right, it's just gone. It should be gone. One more time. Okay, one more time. And this time I'm gonna add a little bit of wiggle room at the beginning. And at the end. Okay, there, that got the whole thing. That got it that time. Okay, so now if we add the trigger, now that it sounds like my actual thing is working, let's restart this. And yeah, that's way too late. One, two, three, 4, 1. This is measure 6. Measure 7. Measure 8, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, see, it's starting too late. We are in C sharp major, D flat major, whatever you want to do. It's almost overloading there. Yeah, a little bit more. So this is the thing with the starburst getting it synchronized, is basically trimming off start point at the beginning so that it lands on the right beat. 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1. So this is it's not super. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now. Nope. Huh. I think the thing to do would be to synchronize it to every 4 measures instead of 8. And that's where the problems come in. Like when you start doing like large amounts of measures. So yeah, trigger 6 is a 4 measure. Two, three, 4, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Reset. A little bit less, so it starts right on the beat. It's almost there. 1, 2, ready, change back. Okay, and it also doesn't have to be perfect, but I do want the start point to be you know, accurate and stuff, because otherwise we have issues just making anything match. Okay. All right. So, I think what I'm going to do then is make this bass part just a whole note. And we'll just make a rich and thick and lovely bass part. Some days I'm like, why do you even bother unpatching this voice? You should just leave it alone. This voice meaning the octave doubled chainsaw. You reach there? No, you won't. Let's go into the neutron filter, and we put it on fatty fat mode, which is a 24 dB ladder filter emulation kind of thing going down there. Dang old. You just want a nice, delicious, warming drone. That's not. Oh, I only want this 2 parts long, that's why. Yeah, that's better. Maybe we'll go up the octave. And then one could do the simplest thing, which is to actually, do we use the super slow sloths? We could use the super slow sloths that's right below here. Just put that into the FM, just to give it some nice flexing. Now, if we do a subsequence, that's pretty easy, because what we do is we just do whole notes, and we just go 1, 5, 6, 4, like, keep it super duper easy. 4 parts long, enable on, so we go down 5, and then we're gonna go down 4, and then we're gonna go down 7. Now, does it sound stupid, really, really low like that? It might. Yeah. No, because the alternating octaves are going to save it. Yeah. See, it's a little weird overlap there. It doesn't sound that amazing. Almost like when they put it at 1 or at 73 BPM, it may not have been correct. What? A sample that's not labeled correctly? What? That's crazy! Get the fuck out! Sorry. I had to rage for a minute. Okay, that's a lovely combo. And then this one thing. That's beautiful. I like. Okay. Now what I don't notice is this guy doing any kind of filter movement at all. Well, we can monitor that as kind of as I go along here. I'll make some tweaks. I might swap that over to something else, you know. Something else. I mean, the sloth is doing its slothy thing, but it's the very, very slow sloths. Kind of wish it was the medium speed one, apathy, but it's not. It's the inertia, which is like a 35-minute cycle. It takes like forever. That doesn't mean that's how long it takes for like, you know, one thing. Now, keep in mind, this is a particle floating in space in two axes, so it's like attracted by gravity, and then so it whirls around, and then sometimes it goes whoa, and it goes into like negative space, like negative voltages, and so it's like -5 and then to 0, and then it just flips back up, and so like a whole cycle of all of the loops back to the start is like 35 minutes. All right. Yeah. So it's very, very slow modulation. But, you know, hey, that's why you get a sloth. You don't get a sloth because you want fast modulation. Damn it, why is this sloth not fast enough? Okay, it's definitely doing filter things. It's in the negative voltages. Because the cutoff of that filter right now is at about a third of the way up. So without that, it's going to be pretty meaty still, right? So we can maybe put it about halfway. Imagine this is the low end. The red light here, I believe, indicates a negative voltage, but the lights don't always mean anything. It's very frustrating. Yeah, so it's not just like your standard LFO that's just like 10 to 0. Oh, here's 10, here's 0, here's 10, or here's +5, here's -5. Like it's just like hanging out in positives for, and then it's just zip around in the negatives and then go back up and then go back. You have no idea what's going on. Because chaos, good times. Let's find another voice. Make another voice. Let's voice this track. Okay. I kind of want to record some Rhodes into the R-bar. I think that would be good. I think that would be nice. Hey, Simon and Alejandro and Cal, which I did not mention earlier. Let's see here. Oh, actually, I have it hooked up to the audio input, so that's easy. Audio out, gonk. Audio in, gonk. Why are you so quiet, bro? Bro? Oh, because I don't have it hooked up to the audio input. That's the wrong cable. I just have a cable sitting there to be hooked up, which means it's just as easy. It's called just go here, gonk. Oh, you're plugged in. So I'm going to play some sort of like vigorous, lots of notes basically in just like C sharp major. So it's going to sound stupid because it's just going to be me plinking along, you know. F sharp major. Okay, good enough. I need a chair on wheels. I kind of actually do. That would be useful. Okay, and then we set up a control track. Haha! Control track. Oh my god, oh my god. We're gonna make that a whole note, and then we're gonna make it 4, and then we're gonna make it gates on, and then we're gonna go down to C3. Do we even have C3? Oh, yeah, we do. C3. However, we don't have G, so we'll have to put this guy into chromatic, which is easy. So we go C, and then we go G3, and then we go C4, and then we go G4. So yeah, so the R-bar layers all respond to half volt. So, you know, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, which happens to be C and G. But actually, you know, I don't know if it's technically G or is it F sharp because it's the tritone. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's the F sharp. But it doesn't matter because it's close enough for rock and roll. And the F sharp would probably be like, it's not quite there. And then it wouldn't work. And then you'd be like, bash it with a hammer. Hey, Ethos. Or I should say, the annihilator of Ethos. Fuck. Okay, so now if we hit play, yeah, we got pink, and then we got orange, and then we got yellow. And it should just cycle through all of that stuff until we just be like, here, we're back at the beginning, mute the part. There. Speaking of the part, let's get the part hooked up to other parts that will make the part that we so desire. If you know what I mean. Which you don't. And then let's see here about this here thing with that. Yeah, not too shabby. Not too shabby. Just bumming me out that I still have to go to work, you know? A few more weeks. I think I got 4 Mondays left. And then that last Monday is literally the last day. We go back on a Monday for like 2 hours. Why? Because legal requirements. Sounds a little high. Also, we must scan the playhead. Now, if we high pass this, oh yeah. Oh, that's crunch-tastic. Jesus. What the hell, man? Is that the filter? Okay, so let's just transform it into like a lo-fi crunch roll there. Just... let it distort, let it crunch. Yeah, that's not the filter. That's the sample itself. Okay, so then if we unmute this, it should be. Why are you not synchronized? Because you're dumb? It's sort of working. Except for that, no, they let, no, they... Every time that plays, I'm going to be like... See, like that. So what do you do? What do you do? Do you not point it out and then hope that everybody's just cool with it? Except for there's that one person that's like, this guy can't even get his samples to line up. What a hack. What a piece of shit. Or do you explain it? And now you can't unhear it. I just don't know. You just stop caring that much. That's the key right there. Hmm. Let's stop this for a moment. Yeah, M83, man. That's yeah, such good stuff. What's that one slow tune from from their big album or his big album? It's like Where the Boats Go or something like that. I forget. It's just lovely. It's got that vocal that's like of time. It's beautiful. Okay. Let's maybe some occasional hmm. So this would be kind of fun. We could do, let's go infinite so that this is the gamut repetitor. I'm going to have it not repeat steps, like at all, or loop or anything. Yeah, dude, that track is just so friggin' beautiful. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it otherwise. It's amazing. Okay. So let's try something here. We're gonna go. This is the volt per octave out. Now I may need to tune the scale on this, unless it's already in a major scale kind of thing. In which case, you know, don't need to. I can just tune the oscillator. Where is the... Do I not have the manual for... Oh, no, there isn't one. That's right. It's all, like, online. I remember this. This is annoying. So I wanted to do gamut repetitor. Gamut repetitor manual. Yeah. Scale selection. Okay, so what's it in right now? What I want is like... left, left, right. Yeah, so that's a major scale. So that should stay. Yeah, what's the name of that song? Now I have to look it up because, you know, it's amazing. Um, Wait. That's what it's called. Wait. Yeah. M83 Wait. W-A-I-T. Okay, let's get these guys hooked up and see where we are at. This could take a little bit of tweaking. But in theory, you know what? I might do triangle wave with these guys. Start with triangle wave and see where we are at. Triangle wave, triangle wave. There is no goodbye. Now that song is like completely stuck in my head. Not that that's a bad thing. I could think of worse punishments. Okay, so let's turn this dude up, and we should have some sort of response. Yeah. Okay, let's pull this first. So this is all set to C now. So if I just go... There we go. Oh, Jove, he's got it. Okay. Alright, let's patch envelopes. Also, as long as I'm here, and I got these little shorty short guys. Hey, oh, hi. Okay, so now, in theory, it should play a C-sharp major. I was like, why is the reverb like freaking out right now? And that's because it is going through a very, very fast. Let's actually put this in the sloths. Yeah. Okay, but we are gonna modulate. I always say we. It's like the royal we. It's kind of weird. I am gonna modulate the clock divider. Okay, and it's gonna go fucking haywire on occasion. And yeah. See, like that. Maybe a little much. Yeah, it's a little much. That's okay. That needs a little tweaking. Okay, so a couple of things that can be done to this as well. Of course, would be modulating the filter with something. That would be logical. In fact, let's use the same exact sloths into the cutoff so that when it is higher, basically it's going to last longer. I was going to like maybe make the envelopes last longer at like lower voltages. Get a bit more variability in the stochastic function generator too. Stochastic. Well, that's damnably pleasant, I have to say. Now, if I actually turn down the level of the CV on each of these channels, yeah, it's going to mellow it out by a lot. And it would be interesting to modulate the down-up control also. Maybe with another channel of the SFG. I'm gonna put that on long, actually. Let's crank up amplitude. It's big time here. Okay, that is an element, and it is happy. It is a happy element. I was considering something similar, but one could do it with a melodizer. And just put it on like a slower tempo and turn off looping completely. And what? This dude? Actually, let's use this dude instead. Well, I think I need to make sure that it's in tune, because I think I made it go all wacky last time. Used it. So, let's see here. Little bitty IntelliGel SVF thing right there is a good one. Wait a minute. What is this thing on? It's on either soft clip or plus 6 dB. Yeah, or none. Sounds okay, actually. Yeah, dead on. Nice. We need a gate and an envelopey. Change this though. This should be something more interesting. Up a ways. And then we give this guy the same sloths that I'm using for a lot of other stuff into the filter frequency. Okay. I have an idea for an occasional, you know, like I like to do, you know, like a white noise sweep. Basic, super duper, you know, easy kind of a thing. I have a better idea, and I don't know how I'm going to execute this. Let's see here. This is going to take a few stages. What I want is a really high-pitched oscillator just being like tick, 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 and then just like dying away. Just like a little magical little shooting star, you know? How can we do this? Okay, number one, we're going to modulate the pitch with a really long AD envelope. Okay, this one is, right now it's set to about 11 seconds. All right, so what is going to trigger that? That depends. That I don't know yet. We'll figure that one out. Okay, for now, I'm gonna put it under manual control from the Mito here. So right now, all I have to do is flip a switch, boom, and it. Oh, that's the wrong. That's not an output, sir. There, I should flip a switch, and it should trigger the pattern or the envelope. Okay, so we bring that into an oscillator of some sort. I don't know if it matters that much. We'll just go. This dude. Congratulations.
You got nominated. Oh my god.
Let's use the shark fin one. And I think I'm going to use the dual dagger also because it's got that architecture that I know and love. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any input gain adjustment, you son of a bitch. Okay. So starting, we should just go be like, meow. Yeah. All right. Now what you can do so the base level pitch, the lowest that the oscillator is, so you can filter it out. So that way when this triggers, it's way too high. Yeah, that's it. That's all we get. Okay, so that needs to be lowered by a lot. Yeah, rechem. That's a good. That's a good question. I don't know. Good question. I've been fascinated with synths since I was probably 8. So I mean, it took until I was in my late 40s to even start. You know, mid 40s, really. Um, just due to weird, stupid, annoying circumstances. Let's see if this does anything here. No. Okay. That's a start. That is a start. Okay, now what we do is we put this through a VCA, right? Because what I want to do is basically we'll use the VCA, and I'm going to use a square wave oscillator. And I think the only one that I have left that's like good for this is going to be the my sort of standard .VCO up there, the purple boy. This guy. So what we can do is take the square wave out. Route the cable imaginatively so it reaches and we don't have to curse the universe. Okay, and then what I want to do is basically put the CV control up to a moderately high amount. Well, boost is on. We do not want boost to be on. And then we'll put this guy lower, like so. And then I'm going to turn the range down to like low range. So it should, so right now it should start to be a square wave LFO, basically. Just going in negative and positive voltages. Because that's what it do. That's what it be do. Let's trigger this again. Hi, trigger? Oh, you triggered. You just take a long time to develop. Where you at? Bruv. Bruv? Where you at, bruv? Let's try that again. Oh, I'm an idiot. I am an idiot, yeah, I am an idiot, yeah, I am an idiot because I didn't hook up a motherfucking output. Very good job. Oh, actually, I can use little shorty short guys here. Shorty short guys make me happy. If it makes you happy, it must be short. Oh, hi, there you are. That's a lot of pops. Not a fan. Okay, so then what we need to do is filter this out with high pass filter. Get it just on the verge of triggering, and then let's see. Could go a little faster. Like, no, faster. There you go. One more try. Okay, now, here's the question then. How do we trigger it? Clock divider? I could just do a 1 divide by 128 clock division. That'd be aight, right? It just, every once in a while, you probably wouldn't even notice it, because it would take a long time for it to get there. Just be this. We can even add a little bit of resonance to see if it's gonna do the shoot. Like that. I'm going to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. Nah, see, that's too frequent. That's too frequent. Okay, let's set up a logic function then. Let's do an AND gate, and we'll take that. Let's put it on gate instead of trigger also. Okay, that way it will last a little bit. Ooh, no, that's actually going to last a long time. I don't want that. We'll put that into this. Okay. And then I'm going to give it just a random voltage from the stochastic function generator, right? So that way, only when this LFO is high. Bro, you're so high, bro. Bro. And it happens to get a 1 out of 128. Divided by 128 might be too long, so we might put it like there. See, it hit once. The problem is it might hit again. So it is a delicate balance between both of them working. Yeah, FM synthesis is a little weird. I will say. And, you know, and then everybody's like,
Ooh, through zero FM. Oh my god.
it's like, well, okay. Do you do musical things with that, or do you just make weird noises? That's my question always. Ooh, lovely. Fairy dust. I'll be honest, there's still a part of that I don't like. That's like this little like. Yeah, that's the thing. I think a big deal is to remember that it's all voltages. Everything is a voltage. So, like, what you think of as audio is just a fast-moving voltage of a particular shape, you know, and then, like, you can use that for whatever. So, you got to kind of, like, visualize things sometimes. Okay. I'm going to move this down to the divide by 32 slot, I think. Because that's going to be just less frequent. You know? Should do it now. Yeah, I was gonna say it should do it now. And then we can ooch this more towards the offset and so on. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, there is a lot of tweaking that you need to do, to tune some of these things. Like this particular little sound is a little weird. It's kind of non-musical in a way. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Okay. Who next? Who next? Yeah, like, and you take any oscillator and you slow it down far enough, and you have an LFO. It's just voltage moving up and down, and like the shape of that voltage. You know, what's weird is when you think about things like, oh, hey, you can use a filter as a slew limiter. Okay, like, first of all, what's a slew limiter? Well, it limits the rate of change of a voltage. Okay, and that's what a filter is doing. Right? So what it's doing is you've got a wave that's going up and down super duper fast, and because of that shape that it's making, like, let's say it's a sawtooth, right? It creates all of those harmonics, those multiples of the base frequency, right? But it only does that because that voltage is changing extremely quickly. So if you put it through a filter and it changes less quickly by turning down the cutoff frequency, now you have a duller tone and you start eliminating those harmonics, and you're like basically left with a sine wave, right? Because it's a slew limiter. Because it's limiting the change, the rate of change of that signal. I don't know. Good question. I started just by having a synthesizer, like back in the day. Like, if you can program a basic, like, mini Moog style analog mono synth, that's a huge start, right? If you just like, oh, I'm gonna make whatever just basic sounds, a basic lead, um, any kind of like plucky tones or stuff like that. Like, just I used to just challenge myself like to imitate sounds. Like, oh, I want to make that lead sound from whatever, challenge myself to do that and then try to imitate it on a synth. And yeah. Well, yeah, VCV is definitely the cheapest place to start because this shit's expensive, but this is me after about 6 years of collecting and building. All right. I do like to have a nice looping part, and I think actually the melodizer is perfect for that. Let's make it eight notes long. Yeah, true. Which assumes that, you can solder and are confident in doing that on a thing that might cost, hundreds of dollars. And then you have the space. I honestly, I think I've given this advice to a few different people. Like, if you're going to start building your own modules, like, set aside a space for it. Make it comfortable. Like, if you don't want to go there because it's annoying, you're never going to do it. And I think that's just it's a pretty real thing that happens. Um, do we want to put this in the sea legs? Are we just gonna put everything through the sea legs? No, probably not. These cables are not long enough to go anywhere else, though. These should go to an effect of some sort. It's longer. Oh, they're not. Son of a bitch. Okay, we'll just go sea legs then. That's fine. It's peachy. And then have a good soldering iron that you can depend on. All of that stuff makes a big difference. Hey, Leland. Bro, why are you repeating so many notes? Add some sub. Delightful. Hey, Nick. Yeah, let's get that guy some modulation. Let's get this guy a sloths already, for God's sake. Yeah, keep in mind, it doesn't always work for each person, you know? I do that same spiel to the next person, they're just gonna be like, wait, what? Depends on your background, you know? Okay, should we try throwing this mishmash together and just see what we've got so far? I guess. Guess so. Oh no, I've forgotten a modulator. modulation source. Oh my god. 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 Oh my god, I'm out of sloth. Oh my god. Oh god. Let's put it in the other sloths. There we go. And then just get a wee bit more of that there. FM. There we go. Yeah, okay, here we go. And that's gonna do it. Don't delay, hiya. Whatever that is. I don't know what that is. That's what it sounded like they were saying. Don't delay, hiya. Anyways, I'm gonna take off. And, yeah, I'll see you Friday, if not sooner. Maybe. You never know. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it.